Sit down, gentlemen, and sit still. I've come to order a coffin for the first one of you who makes a move.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Good evening, Mr. Paladin.
Good evening.
Oh, here the paper, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, thanks, hey boy.
Excuse, please. Must go a lady look for me.
Lady? What lady? Well, I should say it is a lady.
Oh, very sorry. Could not catch tickets to opera. All sold out.
Oh, I had so hoped to see tonight's performance.
And you still can.
Oh?
I couldn't help overhearing your difficulty. I have an opera box, if you would care to be my guest.
Oh, thank you. But we could not presume on your courtesy.
We?
My husband and I, Senor...
Paladin.
Oh.
Now, of course, the invitation extends to him also.
We have been looking for you, my dear.
Oh, Miguel. Senor Paladin, this is my husband, Senor Rojas.
Senor?
And Dr. Mayhew.
Great pleasure, Mr. Paladin.
Dr. Mayhew.
Senor Paladin has kindly offered us his box at the opera tonight. There were no more tickets.
Very kind.
Dr. Mayhew is, of course, included in my invitation.
That's very gracious of you, Mr. Paladin.
The invitation is accepted?
We accept, on the condition that you join us and be our guest for dinner, Mr. Paladin. Is that not correct, my dear?
Quite correct, Mr. Paladin. Until this evening, then, Buenos dias. Mr. Paladin?
Oh, husband don't like you.
I'm afraid you're right. But then, why should he?
No one could be more at home with history than Edward R. Murrow. For more than 20 years now, he's focused his attention on world affairs, broadened his viewpoint with travel, and sharpened his perspective by meeting and getting to know many of the leading statesmen of our time. 5 evenings a week on CBS Radio, Edward R. Murrow shares his experience with you. For a clear, concise report on today's important developments, join us on most of these same stations when it's time for Edward R. Murrow with the news. A fuller understanding of current events is waiting for you, too, on every lively edition of our World News Roundup. 7 mornings a week on CBS Radio, the World News Roundup takes you to the scene of the news for eyewitness reports by CBS News correspondents. Hear what's happening direct from where it's happening. Get the feeling of the news along with the facts as our World News Roundup comes your way at breakfast time tomorrow.
Dr. Mayhew, it's time to wake up. The performance is over.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry, Mr. Paladin. Opera is not one of my special likes. Which one was this?
The Marriage of Figaro by Mozart.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, at any rate, Don Miguel's wife seems to have enjoyed it.
Miss Doña Maria is a remarkable woman, Doctor. Meant to savor and enjoy beautiful things.
And I might comment for your particular benefit, Mr. Paladin, that Don Miguel is a remarkable man.
Wait a minute.
Huh? Oh, what is it?
Someone behind the curtain.
What?
Don Miguel! Look out!
Senor Paladin, help him. My husband has been hurt.
Please, Doña Maria. Dr. Mayhew will do all he can.
Paladin, he needs treatment at once. We'll have to get him out of here.
It is you, Senor Paladin.
Yes. Any news?
No, not yet. We are still waiting.
I spoke to the police. There'll be no trouble. It was a clear case of self-defense. The man attacked your husband and was shot down. It was lucky Don Miguel was armed.
Yes.
Is he always armed?
I do not know.
Did you see the man who attacked your husband?
Of course I saw him.
Did you know him?
No.
The man looked very surprised at the way things turned out.
Why doesn't Doctor make you hurry?
Doña Maria, has Don Miguel ever been attacked like this before?
No. Yes, he has. Oh, there is no need to lie about it. It's an insane blood feud that has cost many lives already. This was bound to happen. They failed tonight. They will not fail another time.
Blood feud? Perhaps I can help?
This is not a tragic opera, senor. In this case, death is very Doctor, how is he?
He's resting quietly. You may go to him now, Doña Maria.
Doña Maria.
Yes.
Give him my card.
This is not time for fun. Have gone. Will travel.
Give it to him. Please.
See, I will.
Well?
The wound itself isn't too serious, but I don't like the looks of it.
Why, Doctor? What's the problem?
There was poison on the knife blade. Nothing familiar. A plant substance of some sort.
The question is, will Don Miguel live?
Yes. For perhaps a week.
Dr. Mayhew has told me I'm dying. That is why I sent for you after I read your card. My wife has told you of a vendetta.
Yes. Yes, she did. What do you want? Revenge?
No. My task for you is much more personal. I want you to escort my body safely to my home in San Tomasino and deliver it there to my wife.
Doña Maria, isn't she here in San Francisco?
I sent her home this morning. I wish to die unobserved.
Someone once commented you were a remarkable man.
Do not misconstrue my sentimentality. The vendetta against our family includes a threat of mutilation of the body. In which case the bestiality is complete. I would prefer that it did not happen to my body. Will you take the job?
All right.
$1,000 and expenses.
We have a bargain.
Good. You'll be paid by Maria upon said delivery of my body in San Tomasino. Thank you, Senor Paladin.
Of all leading filters, cigarettes, Kent filters best, Kent filters best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent, Kent filters best. Of all of the brands of cigarettes, Kent tastes the best, Kent tastes the best. A richer taste than all the rest, Kent filters best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent. Of all leading filter cigarettes, Kent filters best.
Oh, big robbery in San Francisco.
What did you say, hey boy?
Big robbery in San Francisco. $230,000. Oh, very careless. You read?
No, I was reading something else. Don Miguel Rojas, distinguished visitor from Mexico, died last night of knife wounds suffered last week when he was attacked by an unidentified assailant while attending the opera.
Mr. Paladin?
Yes?
I am Mr. Wilkins.
Oh, yes, the mortician.
You sent for me. May I be of help to you?
You can turn one of your clients over to me, Mr. Wilkins, the late Don Miguel Rojas. Here, this is a letter of authorization.
The body is to go into Mexico. You'll need a certificate to cross the border, sir.
I have that from Dr. Mayhew.
And how do you propose to transport the body?
I've hired a stagecoach, Mr. Wilkins.
When would you like to start?
As soon as possible.
Don Miguel will be ready. Good day, sir.
Good day.
Oh, how long you be gone, Mr. Paladin?
Oh, 12 days, 2 weeks at the most. Now, why do you look like that?
Hey, dead man. Oh, no good trip carrying dead man.
You know, border stations are all alike, Mr. Paladin.
Anybody here?
You just try to go through without inspection. You'll find out if anybody's here. Where's your destination?
San Tomasino.
Name?
Paladin. My driver's Timmons.
Just the two of you?
3.
John, Miguel. Hey, you can't take a dead body across the border.
Yes, I can. There's a statute book. Read Article 8, page 14. You want to inspect the coffin?
Open that thing up? Oh, not me.
All right, then. What's the country like between here and San Tomasino?
Well, empty, except for a water hole called Loma Verde. The rest is rattlers and blow dirt. Oh, go on. Inspection's over.
Let's go, Timmons.
This is the only spot of green we've seen, Mr. Paladin. Loma Verde's hardly a paradise. I don't like it.
Can't say I like it much myself, but we won't be here long. At least we can water the horses.
The sooner we can move on.
Hold it.
What?
We have company behind that rock.
Huh?
¿Lleves a los manos?
Bandits.
Don't move.
Raise your hands, senores.
Do what he says.
Bueno.
He's alone, Mr. Paladin. Him against us.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
We can let him kill us here, or we can fight him here.
You say the word.
Now.
Wise. Very wise after such a foolish thing. Now climb down carefully.
Now what?
You may bury your friend if you wish.
Wait a minute. Seems I know you from somewhere.
Quite possibly. If I take off the handkerchief, you might remember where.
Don Miguel.
Of course.
You're not a bad shot for a corpse.
Do not make me prove that point again.
It has the fresh, clean scent of pine. It's new. It's at your store.
What is it?
It's the best disinfectant anywhere. Kills disease germs on contact.
It's Lysol in a new pine scent.
Right. Now there's a new pine-scented Lysol. Now your home can be pine sweet and Lysol clean with genuine Lysol brand disinfectant. New pine-scented Lysol disinfects, deodorizes, deep cleans kitchen, bathroom, nursery, sick room. Keeps things fresh and sweet with no extra work. Pine-scented Lysol helps guard your home. In laboratory tests, Lysol's anti-germ action kept working for 7 full days. So try this new pine-scented Lysol. Make your home
Pine sweet and Lysol clean.
You can still get regular Lysol, too.
Turn around, please. Your gun? And now we can talk like gentlemen.
Sure.
Now, I would like to satisfy my curiosity about that cargo. Open up my coffin.
Money. A great deal of it.
The shipping payroll robbery. $230,000.
You planned well. Dr. Mayhew was in on this?
He has been paid off along with Mr. Wilkins, our undertaker. They made my death seem very convincing. But not as convincing as yours will be, Senor Paladin.
What are you waiting for?
First, you must help me with another burial. The money must be hidden until certain arrangements are made. Replace the lid and come down. I warn you, any false move will shorten your life and will assure you a much more unpleasant death than you now contemplate. Pick up the shovel. Now move.
When you staged that attack at the opera, what about the man who was killed?
The man was hired to play a part. I changed the ending of his scene.
No wonder he looked surprised.
You cannot play chess without sacrificing pawns. Now, dig.
All right. You're in check. Miguel. Miguel. Checkmate.
Well, it ain't the body carrier. Come back to the border. Hey, did you deliver that? The coffin's still up there on top.
And the corpse is in the coach. Take a look. You see?
Just sit where you are, mister, and start explaining.
That is the body in the coach. The coffin up here is filled with stolen money.
What are you trying to pull, mister?
You don't think I'm telling the truth?
No.
There's an easy way to prove it. Come on up here and open the coffin.
All right, I will. Now, here. Give me a hand.
Right.
Well, I'll be.
What's your name?
Farley.
Mr. Farley, there's a lady in San Tomasino waiting for the body of her husband, whereupon she will pay me my fee. I need your help.
What's this got to do with me?
I thought you might want to get credit for the lady's arrest if she's a part of the plan.
What about all this money? What do we do with that?
The colonel in command of the 3rd Cavalry at Nogales will sign for it and escort it back to San Francisco.
All right. We'll turn the money over to him and start back. But how do we know if this lady is guilty or not?
Suppose you leave that up to me, Mr. Farley. Surprised to see me?
No, but I thought...
I didn't wish to disturb the servants. You see, my errand is quite personal.
Yes, my husband sent word before he...
Would you like us to bring the coffin in this way?
Very well.
Excuse me. All right, Mr. Farley.
I don't like this, Paladin.
This is Mr. Farley, Doña Maria, Senora Rojas.
How do, ma'am?
How do you do? I will get your money, Senor Farley.
Don't you think you should make certain that I've fulfilled my part of the bargain?
Yes, you are right. Open the coffin.
Farley.
Yeah.
That is my husband. I will get your money.
What do you think, Farley?
Not guilty. No woman could be that calm. She thought her husband was alive and then saw him dead.
And you're satisfied she had nothing to do with him?
Yeah.
All right. Wait for me at the stagecoach.
Yeah. Don't be too long.
your man, senor. There is a drink for him in the kitchen.
You hid your surprise very well. And your grief.
I had no grief for Miguel. I do not know how he died, but I can never thank you enough for giving me my freedom. My life with him was a nightmare.
I can believe you. I saw it in your face. Goodbye, Doña Maria.
Wait. Your money.
No, I'd rather not.
Please, senor. It gives me pleasure to pay for my errors. Especially since this is the last payment.
Very well. Should you come again to San Francisco, I hope you'll come with me to the opera. Dr. Mayhew.
Oh, I got your message, Mr. Paladin, but I'm afraid I can't give you too much time. I'm a very busy man.
All of us are. Here comes another busy man.
Hey?
Mr. Wilkins, the undertaker.
My dear Mr. Paladin, what can I do for you?
Sit down, first of all.
Thank you. Doctor?
Wilkins. Well, Paladin, what is it you want?
I'd like to order a coffin.
A coffin? For whom?
For whichever of you gentlemen makes the first move.
Well,
This is a derringer in case identification escapes you. Hey, boy.
Mr. Paladin?
Get me a policeman. On second thought, get me 2 policemen. 1 apiece.
Oh, big story in papers. Dr. Mayhew and Mr. Wilkins all in jail.
Where they belong, hey, boy. Here we are.
Oh, where are we?
The San Francisco Opera premiere tonight. Hey, boy, I want you to take this over to the Opera House. Buy me a box.
Oh.
Now, what's the matter with you?
Last time you go to opera, man get killed, money get stolen. Oh, big trouble. You know, Lon.
Of course I learn. What would you have me do?
No opera, no lady.
Hey, boy, I'm afraid you have a lot to learn.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell, and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Ken Kolb and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Lillian Bayeth, Harry Bartell, Joseph Kearns, Howard Culver, Ralph Moody, and Vic Perrin. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
Your guide would cut your throat for $10. And even if he didn't, you'd be shot by bandits or scalped by Indians. My gun is your safe passage. You're going to need it.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
You know, hey, boy, I'm bored this afternoon. Too much of the same thing.
Oh, you saw Mr. Paladin.
If only something different would happen.
I say, Porter. Oh, something different, Mr. Paladin. Which is the way to Fleetown, Montana?
Fleetown?
Yes.
Perhaps I might help. My name is Paladin.
Why, thank you, sir. I'm James Brunswick.
Hey, boy, bring Mr. Brunswick some brandy.
No, you're very kind, but I can't tarry. You see, my father, the 8th Earl of Aylesbury, invested money in this ranch in Montana, and now that my brother's dead, his share was left to me.
And you're going there to take possession?
Precisely, yes. My interest is half. The rest is owned by a 5th cousin, Miss Felicia Carson. Yet I must make arrangements to get there quickly. A lone woman attempting to run a large ranch. Well, you understand.
Yes, of course. I imagine she'll be pleased to have a man's help.
Oh, quite. Yes. Well, I'll hop a train, and I'll just pop in on her in a day or two.
3 weeks will be closer to the truth.
Oh?
The train will drop you about 200 miles from Fleetown. From there on, it's horseback over the mountains.
Oh. Well, then in that case, I might do a bit of hunting. I shall hire a guide.
And he'll cut your throat for your money.
Good gracious.
No, you couldn't do it alone. You get lost, shot by bandits, or scalped.
Well, that's rather awkward. What's the solution?
This.
Her gun will travel. Oh, I say. I mean, the gun, is it necessary?
Not always. But sometimes it's mighty useful.
If dandruff dulls your hair, leaves your scalp itchy, please listen. You can get rid of annoying dandruff so fast today, no one should suffer any longer. With Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. Besides that, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And while removing dandruff, Fitch can also brighten hair up to 35%. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
James Brunswick, 9th Earl of Aylesbury, endured the 3-week ride over the mountains with the help of an English saddle, a sun helmet, and 2 pack horses carrying his trunks and carpet bags. He marveled at the size, the coldness, the expanse, and the beauty of the land. There were some Indians lounging around the general store when we rode into Fleetown. They stared at him fascinated. He stared back, fascinated. We dismounted and walked up the steps.
This is Fleetown, mister. You looking for someone special?
Yes. Miss Felicia Carson. Perhaps you can direct us to the King's Arms Ranch, sir?
I'll be danged. Miss Carson?
What is it, Wardy?
Ma'am, I think your cousin from England just got here.
What? You James Brunswick?
Yes, that's right.
Oh. Well, I reckon you're my kinfolk.
Oh, my goodness, Cousin Felicia. Why, this is delightful.
Well, I reckon. I'm pleased to meet you.
I'm delighted. This is my friend, Mr. Paladin.
A pleasure, Miss Carson.
The same. This here's Wardy, my foreman.
Howdy.
You go see if them horses is shod yet, Wardy.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is Crazy Clothes?
I beg your pardon.
Crazy Clothes.
Harry, you go on about your business. Quit standing around and staring. And take your braves with you. Go on now. Go on.
Crazy Clothes.
I say, Cousin Felicia, there's a savages.
No, them's Harry Blackfoot, Little Horse, and a few of the boys from across the road is all.
James is disappointed that we didn't see any Indians on the trail.
Ah, good thing, too. The only braves you'd run into up there'd be a war party taking scalps. Oh, Harry and them a lot more peaceable. They ain't smeared war paint in years.
War paint? Taking scalps? Why, Joe, it's all true, then, just as I've read.
Makes good reading, but it's nothing you'd care to see.
No, I expect not.
Well. This is your cousin all the way from England, huh?
Now, look, NG, let's not have
Now,
any...
wait a minute. You the one who shot that poor little bear cub on that pack horse?
I shot him, sir, but he's scarcely a cub.
Listen to him, boy. Why, mister, you just ain't acquainted with the Montana breed of bear. Full grown, they're as big as this house.
Really? Well, I never heard of any animal that large.
I've only been in on the kill of one full-size Montana bear myself. I was with the Army. Took a 10-pound shot to bring him down.
How extraordinary.
And you know what we found when we peeled the hide off him?
No, what?
Why, bear skin, you blame fool.
Well, I must say the joke is on me, what?
Yeah, it sure is. What a dude. Come on, let's get up.
You tripped me.
How's the water in the horse trough?
I guess it's a horse on you, Andy.
You think that's funny, do you?
You must admit a man swimming in a horse trough looks pretty foolish.
Not as foolish as you will with your jaw busted.
Seems like NG finally bit on one himself, and he don't like the sour taste.
You're kind of handy with your practical jokes, mister.
Next time, it might be better to let a man become acquainted with the local customs before you try to make a fool of him.
In the 1800s, the Monroe Doctrine dictated that Americans put a wall between themselves and the world. Today, however, times have changed. From city dweller to farmer, Americans know they are part of the world and close to it. And the more they can find out about it, the better. That's why the broadcasts of Edward R. Murrow and Lowell Thomas are so popular. Each of these internationally known newsmen has a wide background in the history, the politics, the economics on which current events are built. Whether you're interested in high-level affairs of state abroad, economic developments here at home, or the latest advances of science, you'll find them presented clearly and understandably by Murrow and Thomas, with the touch of wit or human interest that has won them listeners everywhere in the world. If you're not already addicted to the news, as CBS Radio presents it nightly, start this week to follow the broadcasts of Edward R. Murrow and Lowell Thomas. They're both heard Monday through Friday on most of these same CBS stations.
James Brunswick, 9th Earl of Aylesbury, changed to knickers once we got to the ranch. After tea and a pipe, he picked up his riding crop and announced it was time to look things over. Felicia Carson reckoned it was time. I tagged along. We made a circuit of the main ranch buildings and ended up sometime around dusk back at the corrals.
Well, that's the works, Jamie. These buildings, 6,000 head of cattle and 12,000 acres of land.
It's immense, absolutely immense. And you've been looking after all this alone. You know, you're an amazing woman, Felicia.
Had to be done.
Well, now that I'm here, I intend to take this burden off your shoulders. You just sit back and be the lady of the manor, huh?
Well, thanks, Jamie, but for a while, you just sort of take it easy and don't strain yourself none. Well, I'm going up to the house. Supper's in a half an hour.
What? Well, I'm afraid that she doesn't take me very seriously, Paladin.
Yeah, that'll change. Right now, you're sort of unusual to
her. To everyone. You know, I've been thinking about N.G. and his little joke this morning. I was being tested, wasn't I?
Yeah. And they think that a man who can be tricked is a fool. See, around here they figure there are two kinds of no good people, cowards and fools. In a rough situation, the coward will run out on you, and the fool might make a fatal mistake.
And I showed myself up to be a fool.
No. But you showed you've got a lot to learn. Let's say you've lost face. Mm-hmm. You don't quite fit in yet.
Well, how does one go about fitting in, Paladin?
Well, here. This is your saddle. English. Made for riding. Nothing else, right?
Well, what else is there?
Well, look at the saddle of mine. The Western saddle.
But yeah, it's a cumbersome, heavy sort of thing.
Maybe, but there's a reason for everything. See the horn here? The tie post when roping cattle, and elbow rest for a man in the saddle all day.
I see.
And the height and the slope of the cattle here. See that?
Huh?
I figured to give a man the most comfort and the best brace through a day's work. Oh, the rigging, the cinch, the stirrup leathers are all designed to contribute something useful. There isn't a piece of leather on this saddle that isn't needed.
Uh-huh. Well, I must confess, I thought it was an unwieldy piece of business.
No, nothing on the frontier is without a definite purpose. No individual is without a definite purpose either. Survival's too difficult. Everything and everyone must contribute something, and you'll just have to find the thing that you have to contribute.
I say, Paladin, look. Yeah, but they're attacking us.
They shouldn't be hostile here. They're showing themselves too openly. Oh, no. You see, they're firing in the air. Hey, they put down that rifle.
Well, why did you knock the rifle?
Shut up, you hit him. Come on.
Huh? Well, it looks like... Well, that's the one, Harry Blackfoot.
All right, now, hold still, Harry. Let me see.
Why, crazy
Now, you just take it easy now.
Of all the fool tricks, screaming like a bunch of medicine show squaws. It serves you right, Harry.
Hey, can I help?
NG say it was a joke. Everybody have fun. NG say.
High in the chest. It's a bad one.
You do this, Englishman?
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a joke.
Take him to the house.
No, we take care of our chief.
Well, I can't tell you how sorry I am.
Why couldn't you wait and find out what it was about before you... Oh, never mind. We'll go into town in the morning. Maybe they'll listen to reason. We ain't had no Indian trouble here in years until you come along, you dang fool.
She put that kind of strong.
What was that you said about a fool? A fool that makes fatal mistakes?
Toward greater victories, the March of Dimes is again asking your help to wipe out the deadly cripplers of thousands of children and adults. Not only polio, but arthritis and birth defects. Did you know that 1 out of every 7 persons in the United States will suffer from arthritis, an exceedingly painful disease for which no cure has yet been found, and that it menaces our youngsters as well as older people? And did you know that 1 out of every 16 babies born this year will have a birth defect? You have helped the March of Dimes fight polio and emerge the winner in the battle. And now your 1959 contribution to the March of Dimes can help win the battle with these other awful cripplers. We did it before, and with your help, we can do it again. Send your gift of money to your local March of Dimes headquarters. Send it tonight.
There was tension in Fleetown after Harry Blackfoot was shot. No one knew what the Indians might do about it. They had him holed up in an old barn, feeding him whiskey and working on his wounds. At least that was the news we got.
When are you figuring to leave, Paladin?
Tomorrow.
Take him back with you for his own good. How long do you think he'd last out here before somebody blows his head off?
You could learn if you'd help him.
I'm running a ranch, not a school. No, it isn't as if I don't like Jamie.
Well, then, don't send him away. This ranch would give him a purpose in life. You need him.
To shoot Indians?
Would it be better if he'd run away and hid?
Well, he should have used his head before he used that rifle.
He reacted the way any man would. He was attacked, picked up the rifle, and defended himself.
Good morning. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting.
Morning.
Now, when we get to town, Jamie, you let me do the talking. The Indians have probably cooled down by now.
If Harry Blackfoot is all right.
NG started this, and it's up to him to stop it. Now, James, I just want you to show up and stand there, like you got nothing to be ashamed of.
Yes, of course.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Paladin, I'd appreciate it if you would stay here until we clear up this matter, and then I'd like to return to San Francisco with you.
If that's what you want.
Well, I believe it would be best for everyone. There he is, propped up against the log under the tree.
Harry Blackfoot seems to be recovering very well.
He's drunk. They're all drunk. Look at that barrel of whiskey. Bet they got it from NG.
We better get NG before we try talking to Harry. Now, you can't stay out here alone, James. Come with us.
Well, I'd like to apologize to that fellow.
No, not right now.
Oh, there you are, you blasted troublemaker. You got the engines all stewed up, the blame fool.
Don't you try to squirm out of this, putting all the blame on Jamie.
Well, I didn't have anything.
NG, you're going out with us now and tell Harry Blackfoot exactly why all this is your fault.
My fault.
I don't have to explain that to you, NG.
Them engines is in no mood to listen to reason now. They'd kill me.
If you don't go out there, I'll kill you.
Send out Crazy Clothes.
Where's my rifle?
You kill any one of them, and word will spread to every Indian in the section. And every one of them will be wearing paint in 24 hours.
You get out there and tell them to stop it.
I can't stop them. They want the Englishman.
He's right.
Where do you think you're going?
Out there, there's little choice, is there?
You can't go out there, Jamie.
Well, I can't endanger your life or be the cause of an uprising.
Stop him.
If he can get across the street, maybe he can get to Harry.
Paladin, why didn't you stop him?
Sometimes a man has things to prove to himself.
It's a rundown. They're going to swipe him down and trample him.
Oh, no. He's getting up. Here comes another one.
No man can take that kind of punishment.
Oh, no. He's getting up again.
He's trying to get to Harry Blackfoot. I'm going out there. Wait here.
They'll kill you too, Paladin, if you interfere.
Harry. Call him off, Harry.
No. Braves teach lessons.
We could have shot your braves by now, but that would have made a war. He's had his lesson. He's been hurt enough.
Crazy Clothes on his feet.
Listen to me, Harry. Only a few may wear clothes like that. It is a proud uniform from a far-off land. Only brave and honorable men wear that uniform. The clothes are the sign of a great and wise leader, a man of strength, a man like yourself. You see how he behaves?
Enough!
I feel I owe you an apology, old man. I'm really dreadfully sorry, you know. Inexcusable.
You're right. He brave man.
Feeling better, Jamie?
Oh, much, thank you, yes. Fortunate the store carried my size in stock. How do you like me? Do I look like a rancher? Paladin?
I guess you do at that. Wow. Come on in, Harry.
Where'd he get your clothes?
He requested them.
Only brave and honorable men wear this uniform. Great and wise leaders?
That's right, Harry.
Me and that one, Englishman. No one else?
No one else.
Good.
Well, he seems quite happy. Now, Paladin, shall we return to the ranch and pack?
Oh, you're not going to run out and leave me now, Jamie. You can't do that to me. I'm just a mere little old woman. That ranch needs a man.
Oh, thank you for the offer, Felicia, but really, I'm afraid there's so little that I have to contribute out here.
Except courage.
Oh, come now, Paladin. I mean, one doesn't talk about that sort of thing.
Mr. Paladin, you're traveling back to San Francisco alone.
Well, if you insist, I stay.
One favor before I leave, James.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'd like the address of your tailor in London. If I send him my measurements, perhaps he could make me a brave and honorable chief.
Oh, you bought me Mr. Paladin. But where is man from Bowler Hat?
He's ranching in Montana.
Oh, him? Montana?
Oh, he changed clothes.
Well, but...
Excuse me, please. Can either of you tell me the way to Henrysville, Oregon?
Oh, sure. Best is to go to a street at the end of town there.
Oregon and Henrysville are a long ways off.
Oh.
And difficult to get to.
Oh, but you see, I really must get to Henrysville. A cousin of mine, a rancher, died. And it's my duty to take over the management of the ranch.
Oh, boy.
And you've just arrived from England and you're in a hurry.
Well, yes, that's quite correct, as a matter of fact.
My name is Paladin. May I offer you my service?
Would you have garden, will travel? What kind of service?
Sit down, please. Hey, boy. A glass of sherry for Miss...
Worthshire. Lady Angela Worthshire.
For Lady Angela. And hurry.
Oh, Esau, get sherry right away. Oh, Lady Angela. Oh, boy. Tally ho, Mr. Paladin.
Now, Lady Angela, I think I should tell you...
Must you hold my hand?
It's an American custom. You must accustom yourself to American customs.
Oh. Well, now the service you spoke of.
It begins tonight at 8 o'clock. A dinner at Fabre's, then a glass of sparkling wine at the Porter, and then a tour of San Francisco. You must see the points of interest before you leave.
I feel I'm already indulging myself in something interesting.
Lady Angela, I know I can assist you.
You know something, Mr. Paladin? I'm quite certain you can.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, he is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Sam Rolfe and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Virginia Christine, Ralph Moody, Gene Bates, Barney Phillips, James Nusser, and Harry Bartell. Hugh Douglas speaking. Have Gun, Will Travel salutes station KRMG, Tulsa, Oklahoma, which became CBS Radio's newest affiliate on Monday, January 5th. KRMG covers 93 counties and reaches about 1 million families in the Southwest and operates on 50,000 watts daytime and 25,000 nighttime. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
You came to me with a torch and a gun. You call it righteousness. Call it by its right name. Murder.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Come in.
Oh, clean socks, Mr. Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
Clean socks for a trip. Very important.
Oh, yes, thank you. Hey, boy, just put them in the bag there.
Yes, sir. Bottle of brandy in bag, too.
It's for the trip. Very important.
Oh, snake bite.
Correct.
Oh, no snakes in Nevada territory this time of year.
Why not?
Too cold. Maybe brandy for other purpose, like drinking?
Maybe.
Or maybe to give lady named Cleo to make warm?
The lady named Cleo has hired me to do a job, that's all.
Oh, sure.
She wants me to find her husband.
Oh, sure.
And she's paying me very well.
Oh, sure.
Hey, boy. You know what you are?
No, what I are?
Auf den Knödel.
Auf den Knödel?
Yes. Now, carry this down to the lobby for me. I'm ready to leave the comforts of the Carlton Hotel and head for the wilds of Nevada.
Auf den Knödel.
Do you see speed laws and other regulations as restrictive, or do you look upon them as protective? When a police officer writes a summons for traffic violations, do you see him as an enemy or a friend? Your life may depend on your attitudes. Statistics clearly indicate that where laws are obeyed, deaths go down. It's no secret that emotional immaturity is the major factor in our accident rate. How else but childish can you describe the notion that breaking a traffic regulation is a way of getting away with something? What could be more infantile than believing one can prove his superiority by ignoring a stoplight? Unfortunately, too many drivers on the road subscribe to that kind of emotional outlook. The result is tragic. Almost 85% of all traffic accidents in America are caused by careless, childish driving. We hope you know our traffic laws and the people who enforce them are there to help save your life.
The lady named Cleo, whom I had traveled over 1,000 miles to help, turned out to be a fat shrew of 50, and her desperate need of me was to find a husband who had understandably tried to blot out his memory of her with drink. By the time I found him, he'd done pretty well. I figured they deserved each other, so I brought him back, memory and all. But I was left in the middle of the Nevada desert, miles from the railroad. I'd been riding for a full day when I heard a strange sound in the desert stillness, or at least a strange sound for that lonesome place. It was a baby's cry. And then I saw the wagon. It sat alone, without horses, forlorn in the sand, no sign of life, except the sound. I dismounted and walked toward the wagon.
Get away from that wagon.
Oh, I thought it was deserted.
Move away, mister, while you still can.
Is this all right?
Now get on your horse and ride on.
Are you alone here?
That don't matter.
A woman can't last out here by herself. Where's your man?
Clear out, mister.
What's that you've been digging?
It don't concern you.
Is it a grave? Who's it for?
The baby and me.
Oh, look, I don't know what this is all about, but won't you let me help you?
You can't help us none.
I can try.
You ain't a doctor, are you?
No, I'm not.
Move on, then.
What's wrong with the baby?
Typhoid. Typhoid fever.
Well, maybe I could
Hold fast, mister. I'd just as soon shoot you dead as know you got a killing fever from us.
But you just can't stay out here
mister.
and...
I ain't got the strength to dig another grave.
Has the doctor seen your baby?
No.
Well, then you can't be sure it's typhoid.
Mr. Mulrooney knows.
Who?
Mulrooney, the wagon master. He knows the symptoms.
And he just cut you loose? Left you out here to die?
He said it was either the baby and me or the whole wagon train.
Are they sending help?
What can they do?
Well, there's a settlement less than a day's ride from here. We'll hitch my horse to the wagon and head
No.
out.
They won't let us in. The wagon train's there by now. They'll know about the typhoid. They'll never let us in, not now.
Look, there's fresh water and food in my saddlebag. Enough to hold you till I get back.
Where are you going?
To get help.
Mister, you don't have to do this.
Let's just say I want to. Pardon me, ma'am.
Yes?
They said at the store I'd find a doctor at this house.
Yes, that's right.
My name is Paladin. I'd like to speak to the doctor, if I may.
You are, Mr. Paladin.
You're the doctor?
Dr. Phyllis Thackeray.
Oh, well, how do you do?
Didn't they tell you down at the store?
Well, there were some looks.
I guess people out here haven't got used to the idea of a woman doctor. Most of them won't even believe I am a doctor.
Are you?
My diploma's inside, if you'd care to look.
Oh, well, no, I'm not the patient.
Who is then?
A woman and her baby.
What's wrong with them?
The baby might have typhoid fever.
Might have?
Well, I'm not sure.
Where are they?
They're lying in a wagon a day's ride from here.
I see.
It's a long ride.
You'll find my horse in the stable. By the time you have him saddled, I'll be ready to go.
You're quite a woman.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Paladin.
Wait a minute.
Oh. Looks like a delegation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just a minute, you two. I got something to say.
Yes, Mr. Davis?
Mister, you didn't tell us those people had typhoid fever.
No, I didn't. Who did?
I did. My name's Jeremiah Mulrooney.
Well, now, Mulrooney. You don't look like a murderer.
What?
You sentenced that woman and her baby to die when you left them out in the desert.
They're diseased.
You've done nothing to help them?
Look, mister, typhoid's a terrible thing. It's nothing to fool around with. We don't want it here.
He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled forthwith. You've consorted with the disease. The fever is upon you, too.
So, you'd better make tracks, mister.
Wait. Mr. Davis, he's not even sure it is typhoid.
I'm sure. I saw it.
You're not qualified to say.
And who says she is?
Are you going out there with this man, Mr. Thackeray?
Well, of course, Mr. Davis. I'm a doctor.
All right, that's up to you, but once you mix with a fever, you're not welcome back here. And don't try bringing those fever patients back here, either.
If we have to bring them back, we will.
Look, we got folks to protect, children of our own. And we'll shoot you down if we have to keep them safe.
They mean what they say, Mr. Paladin.
So do I. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Of all leading filters, cigarettes, Kent Filter's best. Kent Filter's best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent. Kent Filter's best. Of all of the brands of cigarettes, Kent tastes the best. Kent tastes the best. A richer taste than all the rest. Kent Filter's best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent. Of all leading filter cigarettes, Kent Filter's best.
I guess perhaps I wasn't used to the idea of a woman doctor myself, especially one as pretty as Phyllis Thackeray. She rode beside me through the desert all night, without rest, without complaint. Now it was just after sunrise.
Maybe I should have brought something for saddle sores.
You want to rest?
I want to get to that baby.
Yeah. Shouldn't be long now.
Good.
You know, you should be on a velvet settee, wearing a hoop skirt and fluttering your eyelash over a fan.
I tried that. It was too easy.
Is that why you studied medicine? This was hard?
Maybe, something like that.
Wasn't it tough enough practicing back east?
I guess I'm as much missionary as physician. I was the second woman to graduate from my medical school. Others came after me. It was difficult for all of us, but gradually we're becoming accepted as something better than freaks.
You're not accepted yet. You just got run out of town.
Maybe I'm not the missionary I think I am. Or the doctor.
Well, we'll see. There's the wagon up ahead.
I don't see anybody.
Neither do I. Come on. Una. They're in there, all right. Both sleeping.
I hope that's what it is.
Is there anything I can do?
Just help me up there. And cross your fingers.
Doctor, coffee's ready.
Smells good.
The food will be ready in a minute. Here.
Thanks.
How are they?
Well, the mother's suffering from exhaustion, exposure, nerves, no sleep.
The baby? Typhoid?
Well, maybe. I don't know yet.
Mulrooney knows all the symptoms.
So do I. High fever, red spots, delirium, and a coma that leads to the crisis. The baby has all of them. Still, it could be something else. But whatever it is, I can't do much for her in this wilderness.
You want to take them back to town?
Yes.
You know what that means?
Yes.
It's necessary, medically?
Yes.
I'll hitch the horses to the wagon.
Mr. Paladin. You don't have to come with me.
I wouldn't miss it. There's something about that Mulrooney's face I didn't like.
All right. Stop that wagon right there. Don't come no farther.
Uda!
They have guns, Mr. Paladin.
I'm going to try to talk some sense into their heads. Here, hold the reins.
Stand right there. No closer.
Dr. Thackeray has examined the woman and child. The woman has no signs of typhoid.
Her child is diseased.
The doctor isn't sure the baby has typhoid.
I'm sure.
That baby needs treatment. Now, Mr. Davis, you're a sensible man. Are you going to let Mulrooney sentence a woman and child to death?
We'll bring what you need out here. But you ain't bringing them into town.
They'll be completely isolated in the doctor's office.
Paladin, they're sick, and we can't take the chance. We've got to protect us.
They're not as sick as you people. Now, you may be able to keep them out of this settlement, but you'll carry your own sickness with you wherever you go. You'll die again every time you see a baby smile.
We've got our own kids to think about.
How do your children cry when they're sick? Any different from that baby? Suppose it was your child crying like that. Would you send it to the desert to die? Now listen to me, all of you. I'm driving that wagon to the doctor's office, and don't you try to stop me. If you need a doctor, you know where she'll be.
We won't let you do it, Paladin. We won't let you bring disease and pestilence into our midst.
I'm afraid they'll use those guns, Mr. Paladin.
Get back there with Mrs. Benson. Both of you lie flat.
You going to try it?
Go on, get back.
Come on! Stop him! Shoot!
Mr. Paladin, are you all right?
Fine, we're through. I'll have you in your office in another minute.
CBS Radio will score another goal on New Year's Day, as most of these same stations bring you our play-by-play broadcasts of the two year-end football classics, the Orange Bowl and Cotton Bowl games. From the Orange Bowl, CBS News sports experts will call the thrills in the Oklahoma-Syracuse contest. Syracuse will be making its second appearance at the Orange Bowl this year with an 8-1 record. Sporting a 9-1 record, Oklahoma will make its fourth appearance. There'll be plenty of excitement at the Cotton Bowl, too, where Texas Christian will be battling it out with the Air Force Academy. The Texans have made it with an 8-2 this year, and the Air Force Academy is the Cinderella team of college football, with 9 wins, no losses, and 1 tie to date. No matter where you go, no matter what else you're doing on New Year's Day, here's CBS Radio's on-the-spot broadcast of the Orange Bowl and Cotton Bowl games.
All through that night, I sat on her porch and kept watch, seeing their torches, hearing the voice of Mulrooney haranguing the townspeople, working them up. But they didn't come. And inside, the doctor worked with her patients. It was after dawn when she came out to me.
Still quiet?
Oh, well. Mulrooney is still working on them like a witch doctor.
There's breakfast inside. You'd better eat something. I'll stand guard for a while.
Thanks. How's Mrs. Benson?
She'll be all right after she gets some rest.
And the baby?
The fever broke last night.
Oh, what does that mean?
It isn't typhoid.
Not typhoid? You sure?
Yes.
Well, how can you be certain? You've only been with her overnight.
You still doubt me, don't you, Mr. Paladin?
The symptoms are there.
Symptoms can be ambiguous. Now get your breakfast. You need it.
All right.
Morning, Mr. Paladin.
Well, Mrs. Benson, it's nice to see you up and around.
I wish I could tell you how much I appreciate.
Oh, no. No gratitude before breakfast. Baby's better, huh?
Yes, much better.
Miss Benson, why does Mulrooney hate you so much?
My husband died early on the trip. After a while, Mulrooney wanted me to marry him. Said it was God's will to care for widows, and he was the chosen messenger. I wouldn't let him near me. Then the baby got sick.
Come outside.
What is it?
They're coming. Look.
I'll handle them. Go inside with Mrs. Benson.
No, maybe I can help.
You take care of your patients. You may have some new ones.
I want to stay.
All right, but stand back. That's far enough, Mulrooney.
This torch is the fire of truth and justice, Paladin. It will burn away the seeds that Clara Benson has spread among us. It will scourge the disease from our souls and bodies and purify these homes again.
The only disease is in you, Mulrooney. Mrs. Benson is well, and the baby is out of danger.
Lies! In the very face of judgment.
Mulrooney, I'm giving you 15 seconds to drop that torch and call off those rifles.
The flames of the just will banish this scourge. Let the fires rage in the land of...
You have 10 seconds.
Wait! Listen, all of you. That baby never had typhoid fever.
Don't believe her. I saw the child raging with fever, livid with rash.
That rash was measles. 3-day measles.
You're lying.
3-day measles, Mr. Mulrooney. And you left them to die because of it.
Mrs. Benson, bring the baby out.
No, it's not true. You're trying to humiliate me, to belittle me.
You'll see. All of you. The fever is down. The rash has faded. Her eyes are bright. There, look.
Look at her, Mulrooney. You can kill people with hate, but not with 3-day measles.
Mulrooney, 3-day measles.
Stop! Stop it! You can't laugh at me! Stop! Paladin!
Mulrooney, don't be a fool.
I'm going to kill you, Paladin. I'm going to laugh at your grave.
Let me see.
There's no need. I think he's dead.
You shoot very straight.
Mr. Paladin.
What do you want?
Mr. Paladin. Well, I guess we was wrong to listen to him. He seemed to have so much book learning. But he was just setting us against each other. I'm glad we woke up in time.
Next time, you better wake up a little sooner. Dr. Thackeray, this town hasn't been too good for you. Maybe you'd like to come along with me. They can always use a good doctor in San Francisco.
Oh, please, ma'am. I guess we ain't been very friendly, but we'll make it up to you if you'll forgive us and stay.
Well, Dr. Thackeray?
Thanks, Mr. Paladin, for your offer. But there are too many of those velvet settees in San Francisco. I'll stay here where I'm needed.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Paladin.
Good afternoon, hey boy.
You get in late last night. Sleep all day. Now up and feeling fine.
I do indeed.
Oh, you have good time with Lady Cleo?
Lady Cleo?
Lady who sent for you. You know.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I'd forgotten about her.
Oh, sure.
I met a lady who was much more charming. A lady doctor.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I've had a fine case of 3-day measles.
Oh, yeah, the 3-day measles. Oh, sure.
It's true.
Yeah. Oh, you got dirty laundry. You put out tonight.
To coin a phrase, hey boy. Oh, sure.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and stars John Daner as Paladin with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Don Brinkley and adapted for radio by John Dunkel. Featured in the cast were Virginia Gregg, Vic Perrin, Gene Bates, and Lou Krugman. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
I promised I'd avoid a gunfight if possible. But it looks as though it isn't possible. I have one bullet left. You may draw when you're ready.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Go on, Mr. Paladin.
Well, at 7 o'clock, we could have champagne in the lounge.
Mm-hmm.
At 8 o'clock, dinner at the Peacock, something special.
Oh, I'm intrigued, Mr. Paladin. And then?
Coach ride to Barnaby's for crepe Suzette, as only Barnaby prepares a crepe Suzette. And after that, a liqueur back here by the fire in the lounge.
No.
Then...
What? No.
Oh, hey, boy.
Who is this?
Me, number one for Mr. Paladin. Sorry, lady, no champagne, no Peacock, no creepy Suzette, no liquors tonight. Wire come. You go. I know. You already packed.
Wire?
Here.
Bad news, Mr. Paladin?
Oh, dear lady, forgive me. Hey, boy, send an answer to Tom Carter, Abilene. Just say, have gun, will travel.
It's no surprise to anybody that the attractive and inexpensive new radios have proved popular. It's no surprise, that is, to anyone who listens to CBS radio. With so much in the way of music, comedy, drama, variety, and news coming your way every day on CBS radio, more than one radio around the house is more than a convenience. It's almost a necessity for anyone who has a daily routine. The man of the house wants to come home to an attractive home and an attractive wife. But household chores in themselves are rarely inspirational. The smart homemaker is one who refuses to let her regular responsibilities get her down. She gets her work done every day, but she gets her entertainment in, too. She has a radio in the kitchen as well as the living room. Chances are she has a portable radio as well to follow her from one task to another around the house. She knows why the inexpensive new radios are so popular. And what's more, she knows the value of CBS radio, too.
Here you are. Your bag, your saddle, and your gear. This is your hotel right here.
Now, what's that?
Oh, folks from the Wild West show hold up in town right now. Most likely Ella West.
Ella West, huh?
Yeah. The star attraction at Tomahawk Carter's Wild West show. It was kind of frisky at times. Wouldn't go into the lobby by the front way if I was you.
And you wouldn't, huh?
Not with Ella cutting up before breakfast. She just might take it into her mind to shoot them buttons off in that fancy vest you're wearing.
Well, I'll chance it.
Well, just friendly advice, brother.
Please.
Now you jump when I yell frog, and you jump high.
Clerk, I'd like a room, please.
What?
A room. My name is Paladin.
Oh, yeah, just a minute. Now, hold on, Ella. Fun's fun, but enough. Oh!
Later, you can jump, too.
Ella!
Look at them fancy pants and that fancy vest.
You speaking to me?
No one else, Ranger. You don't need a room, boys. He needs a cage. I might even buy you a lemon squash later on, fancy pants.
I'd prefer whiskey if I felt like drinking, which I don't.
Say, you know who you're talking to?
I do?
I'm Ella West, and I can outshoot, outride, and outcuss any man here. I can outdrink you, I can outchew you, and I can outspit you.
Possibly.
Hey, Ella, it's Tracy Calvert.
Tracy, where?
Hi, Tracy. Now, you gonna let Ella take over your spot in the show? Huh?
Morning, Ella.
I didn't see you come in, Tracy.
Why don't you answer Breed's question?
Well, I just might take your spot. For 2 cents, I'd run you out of town, pony boy.
Don't cut your price for me, Ella.
Why, you...
Break it up now, folks. Break it up. Drinks are on Tomahawk Carter. Everybody. I want to talk to you, Ella. You too, Tracy. Now, this squabbling's got to stop.
You find me in the bar. Come on, bring
Well, sure thing, Ella. Come on.
Yeah, what was it this time, Tracy?
The same thing it always is, Mr. Carter.
Well, wrap me in buffalo hide, Paladin.
Hello, Tom. Hello.
Oh, you're a sight, and
Well,
that's a real sight.
Tom.
Yes, sir. Tracy, this Mr. Paladin. He knew me way back when I was making an honest living. Tracy Calvert.
I've seen you ride, Mr. Calvert, Laramie, Wyoming, 71, when you took the grand prize.
I had a lucky day, Mr. Paladin.
We got powwow to make.
Well, I'll run along, Mr. Carter.
No, you stick here, Tracy. I got bad trouble, and I want you to handle it, Paladin.
Save your money, Tom. I never saw a man you couldn't handle.
It ain't a man. That little gal I want gentle down tonight.
Tom, there's one wild thing man will never civilize, woman. And if you mean that one, I'm afraid there'll be no pleasure in failing.
That little gal in there happens to be Ella West. 24 years old, she's already more of a name than Calamity Jane, Cimarron, Rose, and Belle Star lumped together. I got her in my show, and I got damaged bills to prove it.
And I'm going to lose my shirt even before I get my show together if something ain't done.
And you'll lose more when you get on the road.
There's 1 million people want to see Ella West, Mr. Paladin.
Darling of the frontier, heart of gold. Yes, I've seen the write-up.
She's fast with a gun, and she can ride like a Comanche.
She has to be more than that. Ella West is a legend, Tom, a romantic illusion. Your audience will expect you to bring it to life.
That's right.
And instead, you'll produce a repugnant, grimy-faced, loud-mouthed little shrew.
Well, I don't figure Ella's as bad as all that, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, how long have you known her?
She joined the show last month.
Well, my question was, how long have you known her, Mr. Calvert?
If you don't mind, I'll look in on the stock.
Tracy and Ella was raised in the same part of the country. Learned shooting and riding together.
Let him tame her. He seems to have a personal interest.
Now, doggone it, we're old friends.
Tom, you're talking about making a show horse out of a wild, mean-tempered colt. Now, that takes more than taming. It means crushing its spirit, rebuilding it from the ground up. With a horse, the odds are 10 to 1 for failure.
Yeah, I guess I knew it wasn't any use all along. I could have made a fortune with her.
That's why I want 10% of the entire season's gate if I succeed.
You ain't changed, have you?
I hope that's a compliment.
It ain't never stealing to ask what you're worth.
Of all leading filters, cigarettes, Kent filters best, Kent filters best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent. Kent filters best. Of all of the brands of cigarettes, Kent tastes the best. Kent tastes the best. A richer taste than all the rest. Kent filters best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent. Of all leading filter cigarettes, Kent filters best.
What do you want?
This here's Mr. Paladin, Ella.
Oh, fancy pants.
He come here to learn you some things.
You ain't gonna learn me nothing.
Correct. My function is to teach. You will do the learning.
I quit.
Pay her off, Tom. She just resigned.
Wait just a blasted minute here. If anyone gets runned off, it's gonna be him.
Go along, Tom. I'll talk to you later.
I'll be in the saloon.
Now then, sit down, Miss West. Mind if I smoke?
No. Go ahead. Try lighting that cigar now, fancy pants.
That will be 2 deductions from your wages, the cost of the cigar and the bullet damage.
You're kind of a cool one, fancy pants, but you ain't gonna make no lady out of me.
First, you're not worth 2 cents to the show as a lady, and second, that would be impossible in the first place.
Why, you... You took my gun.
It'll be less noisy that way. Now, sit down, please. Better. Although your audiences will expect you to be somewhat different from the average woman, they will expect certain fundamental manners. The essence of showmanship is to be different without being obnoxious.
You're a lily-livered, fancy-talking dude. I'll run you out of town by morning.
I believe you made the same ridiculous threat to Tracy Calvert.
Him, too. Tracy said anything to you about me, I'll kill him.
There's a ring of honesty in that threat, Miss West. However, he said nothing. I was merely speculating. Are we ready?
You've got something to learn me. I mean, teach me, then get on with it. But keep your nose pulled in, dude.
Incorrect.
I gotta eat, don't I?
You don't reach with a fork and spear a slice of bread. You pick it up with
Now,
your
just a
hand.
minute.
And you never speak with your mouth full. Now, it's one thing to act homespun. It's quite another.
Read.
You wearing a gun, dude?
It's quite another to create revulsion. I suggest you confine your idiosyncrasies to calling the food victuals and complaining over the loss
I
of
asked you a
buffaloes.
question, dude.
I heard you.
Because if you ain't got a gun, you better get one. I'm going to teach you some manners.
Drop it.
Ellie, you've been tied to this dude for 2 days now. You like it or something?
I'm going along 'cause there's money in it. You know an easier way, Breed?
Yeah. All right, Ellen. You say the word when you need me.
Mr. Breed seems to resent me almost as much as you do.
I can handle Breed for you, dude.
No need, Miss West. When the time comes, I'll handle him myself. Remember, just pretend I'm a newspaper reporter.
Get on with it.
Another question, miss. Tell us about your parents.
My old man was a stinking drunk, and the old lady was worse. She was always...
You are talking to reporters.
Well, then let them make it up like they've been doing all along.
Mention the homestead.
Homestead? It was a stinking sow pen. You can ask Tracy Calvert. It was so bad you couldn't believe it.
I'm sorry.
You wouldn't feel so blasted uppity if you got rut up like that.
You knew Tracy Calvert then?
Oh, yeah. I knew him. We was kids then. His daddy had a nice spread of land. You should have seen Tracy's house. All painted inside and out with a fence around it. And Tracy's ma all starched up and nice. She give me a dress once. My old lady traded it for some whiskey. No, Tracy'd have laughed if he'd ever seen me wearing it anyhow.
I think I understand.
What?
About you, Tracy Calvert.
Do you? Well, maybe you do at that. You're kind of a strange one yourself. I didn't know real men came in fancy pants. What I mean is, we ain't doing so bad, are we?
I don't know.
He's sort of like you. Everything I wasn't, Tracy was, and everything I didn't have, he did. When he was real little, his mom let me stay one night. She come in and pulled the cover up and kissed me. I was 16 and he was 18 when they was going to move away. Maybe he wasn't growed up yet, but I was. I was growed up plenty. I didn't ask Tracy to marry him. He'd just take me with him. I'd do anything if he would. He could cut me up into little pieces if he wanted to. Just take me. I never said the same thing since, but I'm saying it to you. I ain't what folks think. No man's never touched me. You take me with you when you go back to San Francisco. I wouldn't be afraid with you. Maybe just kiss my cheek and say something nice. I don't want to be in no show, printed in no paper. I just want somebody to know I'm alive. Please.
No.
What's the matter?
Look at yourself. You're still that grimy 16-year-old kid pretending she's a man. You don't compete with women because you're afraid to.
Paladin.
Find a man who wants the smell of the stables and ask him to take you away.
Breed wants me.
Then you and Mr. Breed deserve each other.
And he can have me. Just as soon as he kills you.
Do you see speed laws and other regulations as restrictive, or do you look upon them as protective? When a police officer writes a summons for traffic violations, do you see him as an enemy or a friend? Your life may depend on your attitudes. Statistics clearly indicate that where laws are obeyed, deaths go down. It's no secret that emotional immaturity is the major factor in our accident rate. How else but childish can you describe the notion that breaking a traffic regulation is a way of getting away with something? What could be more infantile than believing one can prove his superiority by ignoring a stoplight? Unfortunately, too many drivers on the road subscribe to that kind of emotional outlook. The result is tragic. Almost 85% of all traffic accidents in America are caused by careless, childish driving. We hope you know our traffic laws and the people who enforce them are there to help save your life.
He's a nasty one, Mr. Paladin.
Come along if you like.
Well.
Good afternoon, Ella. I heard you wanted to see me, Mr. Breed.
Oh, yeah. I didn't recognize you first. Wearing them big boys' clothes.
You're carrying your play acting too far this time, Ella.
Play acting. I've shot men for less.
That's kid talking. We aren't kids anymore.
Shut up, Tracy.
You heard the lady, Tracy. Shut up and get out. Me and Fancy Pants gonna settle something.
I changed my mind, Breed. I don't want no killing.
Honey, we made a bargain. You're gonna keep it all the way.
Tracy, take her to one side. You, barkeep, pour 5 shots and set them up in a line.
Yes, sir. What's this?
I promised Tom Carter I'd avoid a gunfight if possible.
Oh, you ain't got no choice, Fancy Pants.
All poured?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now then, Mr. Breed. I have 1 bullet left. Please, draw whenever you're ready.
Well,
Are you going to draw?
I didn't.
If you aren't going to draw, I suggest that you find Tom Carter, hand in your resignation, and start traveling. Now. Lessons continue at 7. Miss West in my room. Please be on time. Well,
I got myself some female clothes. Cost more than genuine buckskin. I took a bath, too.
well, come in.
Tracy Calvert's right. If I ain't a woman, I ain't nothing. I'll go if you want me to.
You look very nice, Miss West.
You don't have to say that.
That happens to be true. You come off surprisingly womanly in a dress.
Store sold me a lot of lashings and crossropes to go underneath.
It is
and
not considered good taste to discuss undergarments.
I'm sorry. Only thing that threw me was my top notch is worse than plaiting a cow pony's tail. I still hate you. Kind of. You smile and go ahead. I don't blame you. You're clumsy and I talk ignorant, and I guess a few yards of silk don't help the likes of me much.
A wise man judges by the lady's smile.
I think I felt better when you was whooping my knuckles and telling me not to spear my bread. Golly, that's the first nice thing you said to me.
I'm dealing with a woman now.
You're dealing with a shaky one. You just being kind to me.
A woman needs kindness only when she has no virtues, Ella.
I wouldn't want you to say anything out of pity.
Pity isn't included in the course. Come in.
Mr. Paladin, I was... Holy, lovely jumping toads.
Oh, Tracy.
Why, Ella, you... Well, Gosh.
What's the matter, Tracy?
Why, Ella, I've never seen you in... I mean, your hair, your eyes, Ella. You're a lady, Ella.
Am I, Tracy?
You sure are, and I'll kill the man who says you ain't. I'm sorry for what I said to you, Ella, about not being a lady. But doggone it, you've changed.
She changed for you, Mr. Kelvin.
Huh?
She'll tell you herself in time. But she'd like it very much if you just kept that silly look on your face and kept thinking of her as a lady.
Oh, I will, Ella. I swear I will, honest. What'd I do wrong? Did I offend you?
No, Tracy. No, dear Tracy.
Now, Ella, don't cry. Mr. Paladin, what do I do now?
Take your lady in your arms, Mr. Kelvin, and never let her go.
How are things in Abilene Town, Mr. Paladin?
In Abilene Town, things are going smoothly. And how are things here in San Francisco?
Smoothly.
Specifically, the young lady I never dined with, is she still registered here?
Oh, yes.
Then will you please take her this note and tell her I'm back?
I'd do it, but her husband no like.
Husband?
Yeah, she get married 2 days ago.
Honey.
But a Spanish dancer registered today. Very nice. Oh, you catch him up for dinner, eh?
The Spanish dancer?
Oh, boy.
Hey, boy, take that note up to the Spanish dancer with my compliments.
Same note?
Same note.
No one we know of approves of wasting money. In spite of that, however, we Americans are often guilty of wasting our money by the uses we make of our government facilities. Take the operation of the post office, for example. Mostly out of habit, many offices and individuals post outgoing mail at the end of the day. In so doing, they leave post office employees with too little work to do at other times of the day. In addition, we forget to include zone numbers as part of the address. In both ways, we're slowing down the entire system for delivering mail and adding to the cost of our postal operation. The problem is simple enough to solve. Start solving it tomorrow. If you'll arrange to post letters and packages earlier in the day and include zone numbers on the return address as well as the outgoing address, you'll help our post office operate more efficiently for you, and at less cost, too. Remember, for faster, more economical service, mail early in the day and include zone numbers. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced by Norman McDonnell and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Gene Roddenberry and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Virginia Gregg, Sam Edwards, Harry Bartell, Lawrence Dotkin, Lynn Allen, and Barney Phillips. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
There are 4 of you, gentlemen. And I've only 1 bullet left in my Derringer, so my choice is very simple. I'll kill the first man who speaks.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Mr. Paladin! Mr. Paladin!
Over here, hey boy.
Oh, yes, sir. Bank almost closed. Here the money. $1,000.
Good. Thank you, hey boy. Now bring the saddlebag along, will you?
Wait, you go?
I go.
You just come back from going.
I go again.
Oh, I see. A lovely lady with long blonde hair who lives in suite is...
It's just a bit too purposeful for my taste at the moment. In short, hey boy, she's chasing me.
Oh, very, very persuasive lady, Mr. Paladin.
And less apt to persuade me to marry her if I'm not around. Give me the bag.
Oh, yes. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
And it also makes the eye wander.
Oh,
especially a lady's eye. Easy, boy, easy.
Oh, very pretty lady. Why you not marry her?
Well, a woman has to be something besides pretty for me to go that far.
Oh, wait. someday you come across woman who is something beside pretty. Then what?
Ah, then what indeed, my friend? Hold any messages that come for me.
Oh, send message by wire. Where you go?
Where I can't be reached.
Where that?
I don't know, but I'll find it. Come on, boy.
Howdy.
Hello.
Passing through?
I haven't made up my mind yet. What's the name of this town?
We call her Bluebell. Looking for a job?
Just a drink.
Yeah, they'll give you one in there if you can pay for it.
Thank you, Sheriff.
What'll it be, Hoppergrass?
Rye, just give me the bottle and the glass.
That'll be $5.
All right.
Must have worked up quite a thirst, stranger. I'll get you a better brand than the bar bottle. Anything else?
This'll do.
Yeah, it oughta.
You're the one who belongs to that black horse outside?
That's right.
Nice animal.
Would you care for a drink?
No, thanks. But I got a piece of advice for you, stranger. I wouldn't drink any of that.
I already have. Why?
Get along, Sue. Customer's waiting for you at the Faro.
No, just a minute. There's a customer right here at the bar.
I said get.
See you around, mister.
Now, look,
You're kind of careless, stranger.
Here. What was in that drink?
Whiskey, mister. That's all they sell.
Look, I asked you a question.
And I'm giving you an answer.
Who are you?
That's who I am.
Remember me?
Oh. Girl in the saloon.
Right. You're in my place. Remember what happened?
In a way.
You slipped enough drugs in your drink to kill a horse. Here, can you sit up?
I felt better.
Pretty stupid, mister. Flashing a thick roll of bills.
Oh, it's gone.
Sure.
An old Barbary Coast trick.
How come you fell for it?
No excuse. I was careless.
Man's always got an excuse for everything. Every one of you is handsome and clever. Been everywhere, broke 100 hearts. You've all got the same high opinion of yourselves.
Well, that's the... Ooh, my ribs.
He tried to finish you off with his boot.
Who did?
Saul Goodfellow.
Saul, good. I'll remember.
Here, you need this.
My Derringer.
Saul missed something else when he searched her. His card. If gone, will travel. I like the sound of that. Will you kill him?
Well, he took $1,000 from me, took my gun, my holster, and I suppose my horse went along, too.
You suppose right. Will you kill him?
Would you care?
I felt Saul's boot, too.
You know, I have a lot to thank you for.
You can thank me by letting me go with you. It's the only way I can leave this town.
What's your name?
Sue Tyler.
Sue. You can pack whatever you want. I'll take you as far as Wickenburg. But I'm going to see Mr. Goodfellow before I leave.
Of all leading filters, cigarettes, Kent filters best, Kent filters best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent, Kent. Filter's best. Of all of the brands of cigarettes, Kent tastes the best. Kent tastes the best. A richer taste than all the rest. Kent Filter's best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent. Of all leading filter cigarettes, Kent Filter's best.
Still in town, stranger?
Sheriff, when I came here this morning, I had a horse, a gun, and $1,000. I intend to leave the same way.
You saying somebody stole your money? What's his name?
Saul Goodfellow.
I just can't go along with that.
Just tell me where I can find him.
That won't be hard to do. You just called my brother a thief. I'm Jack Goodfellow. Next thing you'll be saying is that Cousin Jim there doctored your drink.
Howdy.
Or that maybe our Uncle Ed over there has your horse and your saddlebag.
Howdy, mister.
Seems to be your town.
Sort of a family affair, but... Saul? Saul, come here. What? Fella here's making a complaint against you. That's the truth.
I'll trouble you for my gun and my money.
What are you talking about?
That gun in your holster, the money in your pocket.
Sal, ask him why don't he just take him.
That's the gun you say I took, mister?
That's the gun.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to take 5 bullets out of this here gun, see? Then I'm going to throw them away, like this. Now, I got 1 shell left in here. And I'm going to kill you with this 1 bullet if you try to take his gun. So, come on, take it. If you can, mister.
Hand it over. You'll be dead before you can draw the hammer back.
That's so. Where'd you get that?
Come on. You stay back and hold 2 shots. Now, who wants the second one? All right. I'll take my gun. My money. There's only 200. I see each took a share. Drop your gun belts.
Don't do it. He killed Saul, but we got 4 guns, and he's only got 1 bullet left in that Derringer.
One's better than none.
We got him.
When I say 3, draw. 1.
If you say 2, I'll kill you.
Keep counting.
I'll kill the next man who speaks.
Yeah,
it's true. She's going to run us down. We got her!
Whoa, come on. Come on, get aboard.
All right.
Yep.
All right, give me those lines and get down low. Thanks. You know, for a girl, you drive pretty well.
Better head to the river. They're coming after us.
Yeah, we'll stop here. Give me your bag.
I can carry my half.
I've noticed that. Well, let me help you now. By the time they backtrack, it'll be dark. We'll spend the night here.
Can I see that Derringer a minute?
Here.
I'm going to take a bath in the river. Got 3 years of bluebell to wash out of my skin. And if you so much as look that way, I'll kill you.
You pull that trigger and you'll show 4 rifles our hiding place. Come on, give it to me. Come on. Thanks. You have your bath and...
All right.
I'll try to find some supper.
Rabbit smells good.
Mmm.
Ain't
Ain't you afraid of showing smoke?
You. Dry mesquite doesn't smoke.
Oh. I'd help you cook supper. I washed my clothes. They're drying. I got to stay in this blanket.
Sit down.
Any sight of them when you was out catching the dinner?
No.
How come we spend the night here? Seems darkness might be the best time to run for Wickenburg.
The moon rises in an hour. It'll be almost as bright as day.
That's all?
I want them to tire their horses searching for us tonight. See, ours will be fresh in the morning. We may be able to outrun them, but we sure can't outfight them with one bullet.
Ain't got no other reason in mind for us staying here?
No.
Where do you go after Wickenburg?
Back to San Francisco.
Paladin.
Hmm?
Do you have a wife or anything?
No.
Take me with you. I'm pretty. Dressed up right, no man would be ashamed of me. I'm healthy and I'm strong. I'm no lily-handed lady that expects more than she's willing to give. I'm not asking for the center cut of your life. Go as you please and do as you please. Just say something nice to me now and then. That's all I ask. Just think about it until we get to Wickenburg.
You're something besides pretty.
What does that mean?
I'll tell you in Wickenburg.
When a cloud bursts and fresh, clean rain falls on a grove of rich green pine, it's so nice. And now that same clean scent of pine is in new pine-scented Lysol.
Right. Now the one and only genuine Lysol brand disinfectant comes in a new pine scent. It disinfects, deodorizes, as nothing else does, kills disease germs on contact. In laboratory tests, Lysol's anti-germ action kept working for 7 full days. A bottle costs as little as 29 cents, and it's so easy to use. Just add new pine-scented Lysol to your suds when you clean in bathroom, kitchen, nursery, sick room. Use pine-scented Lysol because Lysol deep cleans. Make your home
Pine, sweet, and Lysol clean.
You can still get regular Lysol, too.
How much longer?
Another 2 hours, we ought to be in Wickenburg.
What's the matter?
There's somebody up ahead there.
Hey, you there!
Paladin, use the whip.
There's no need. He isn't armed. Ooh.
Hey, how about a ride to Wickenburg?
What's the matter?
Well, I've been rustled, or whatever you call it. Just because one of their horses had thrown a shoe, they took mine right out of the traces.
4 men?
Yes, how'd you know?
Who are you?
Peter Keystone, hide and telebuyer from New York.
For who?
For my father, he owns the plant.
I need a gun. Is there one in your rig there?
Well, that's one on your hip, isn't it?
It's empty. Have you got one or ammunition?
What's going on? Those 4 asked me the same question.
Those men you saw, the one who took your horse, they're after us. They'll kill me.
Kill you? A pretty girl like you? Why?
Have you got a gun?
There's a repeating rifle under the seat and some shells to go with it. Well, just a minute now. I didn't say...
I know you didn't. Yeah. This'll do.
Paladin, what are we going to do?
Get down.
Down the road. Coming up in cover.
Yeah, I see them. They don't know we have a gun.
What's going on?
Just stay down. And stay right here, both of you.
But I...
You stay with me, Mr. Keystone.
Yeah, stay with her. I'm going to work my way up towards them.
All right, Paladin. We got you cut off. Ain't no sense in trying to fight us with one bullet.
What are we waiting for? With that Derringer, he ain't got no range.
Get him! He's got a rifle! Bullet, Paladin! Hit. Tom's hit. So's Ed. They need a doctor.
Come out with your hands up.
Sure. Sure, but don't shoot me. Don't shoot now.
That's far enough. Now, get the rest of my money and throw it on the ground. Stand back.
What are you going to do to me?
You go get my wagon and drive it up here and load those wounded men on it.
Your wagon's gone.
What?
Her and that other fella took off in it.
All right, Mr. Goodfellow, hitch one of your horses onto his rig. It's better than nothing. I want to get to Wickenburg.
You're the sweetest, honey.
You know, in New York, I never saw anyone just like you. I think... Oh. Hello.
Mr. Keystone?
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Mister, I didn't want to jump in that rig and run, but I was thinking of Sue here.
Yeah. A gentleman always considers the lady first. The question is, what does a lady consider first?
It was your fight, not his or mine.
But I'm sure glad you came out all right.
Well, what are you looking at me for? I ain't done nothing wrong.
No, of course not. But this is Wickenburg. I promised you an answer to something here.
You've got some kind of lies to spread. Go ahead. Men are always lying.
Sue.
Well, not you, but most of them.
All I have for you, Miss Tyler, is an expression of gratitude. For the third and last time in our casual relationship, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Keystone.
Wait a minute. Don't go, Mr. Paladin.
Let him go. He pretends to be such a gentleman. He's just a gunfighter, like I told you. I hardly know him. I saw through him right from the first.
That's odd. Just now I have a feeling he's looking right through you.
Well, look. Don't let him change our plans. You promised to take me to New York with you. Where are you going?
Maybe we better talk some more about New York. Later.
Well, what now, Paladin?
You're very pretty, Miss Tyler. Goodbye.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, welcome back to San Francisco.
Thank you, hey boy.
I think maybe you've gone a long time. You're not gone so long at all.
No. Tell me, did I get any messages?
Oh, yes. So all kinds of messages.
But any particular messages from a particular lady?
Oh, you mean pretty lady with blonde hair who want to marry you fast?
Yes.
You want?
No, of course I want. Where is it?
Oh, no sensible. You run away from her. You run back to her. You run away again if I give you a message.
Not a chance. Now, give me the message.
Never mind. I'll give it to him myself. There.
Satisfied?
I don't know. Answer 2 questions first. Why did you go away?
Because of you.
Why did you come back?
Because of you.
You're a liar.
Because of you. Dinner? Hmm?
I'll be ready at 7. Call for me then?
Aye, very, very pretty.
Yes, very pretty. And that's enough For now.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell and stars John Daner as Paladin with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Gene Roddenberry and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Lynn Allen, Jack Edwards, Vic Perrin, Harry Bartell, Frank Gerstle, and Eve McVeigh. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
In all my life, I've only seen a dozen real killers. But I've seen 10,000 people who'll sit back and let murder happen. Which is the greater evil?
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Paladin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stanford. Pardon me.
Yes.
You dropped these by the desk.
Oh, thank you very much.
The glove that holds a lady's hand holds a world of prettiness.
Really?
Yes. My name is...
I am not interested in your name. I don't wish to know it. I don't wish to know you. And if I did, this would not be the day, the hour, nor the place.
I quite understand.
Then if you'll kindly release my hand.
Oh, of course.
Again, thank you very much.
Oh, pretty lady, not too impressed with Mr. Paladin.
We are all entitled to mistakes, Hayboy.
Oh, yes, but how often?
Seldom, the time, the place, and the loved one all together.
And husband make three. Telegram come for you.
Oh?
Answer?
Yes. Wire back. Have gun. Will travel.
Crime, delinquency, threats of war. These are the subjects that dominate our news headlines these days. Not very pleasant subjects, are they? You may say that somebody ought to do something about cutting down on crime and delinquency and in promoting peace among nations, but that there's nothing you personally can do about it. That's where you're wrong. You can wage your own fight against crime and delinquency in your own family by taking the family to the church or synagogue of your faith this week. The inspiration and guidance you and they will receive from spiritual contact will strengthen moral background and faith. Regular attendance at religious services will help your family to work out its own problems and give them comfort in facing the tensions of our present-day life. Worshipping together brings your family closer together, too. And supporting your own religious institution provides funds to help those individuals and families who, unlike you, are unable to help themselves. Find the strength for your life. Worship together this week.
In a way, I was sorry to leave San Francisco just as Christmas was coming on. The shop windows, already frosted, were filled with all those wonderful surprises, which seemed to appear only at the Christmas season. And there was an excitement in the eyes of passers-by, young and old alike. In the air, there was the smell of cookies and cakes and candies. It was a good time to be in San Francisco. And yet the telegram from Colorado Territory left me little choice. It was a long trip and a cold one. As I got closer to my destination, I heard more about the man named Beecher, the man who had hired me. And I didn't like what I heard. Matt Beecher was a hard man, and he ran his cattle empire with an iron fist. It was the day before Christmas when I arrived at the Beecher Ranch.
You got business here, cowboy?
I was told I'd find Matthew Beecher here.
You found him. I pay you $25 a month if I like your work. This is my foreman, Tater. He'll sign you on.
Howdy. No, I didn't come here to hire on as a hand, Mr. Beecher.
No? What did you come for, then?
My name is Paladin. You may remember this.
Have gun will travel. So?
Well, you sent me a wire asking my help, something about your boy. As I understand it, he was carried off during the Sioux War 6 years ago.
Well, you're too late, mister. I got him back.
Just a few days ago, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, well, I'm glad everything worked out.
It has. Tater, ride him out to the stage trail. He's going to start back now.
And Mr. Beecher, it's a long trip from San Francisco. I'll take travel expenses for my trouble.
You'll get nothing. Put him off the ranch, Tater.
Mr. Beecher?
What?
Does the boy speak any English?
No, he don't. Why?
You speak any Indian dialect?
No.
Well, don't you want to talk to your son?
You speak the Pawnee dialect?
Some.
All right, Tater. Take him up to the main house. We'll talk about them expenses later.
Yes, sir. Come on, Mr. Paladin. Maybe I better set you straight about something.
What's that?
Well, we ain't too sure the boy is Matt Beecher's son.
Well, he seems sure enough.
Yeah, well, Matt's sure of everything. He found the boy riding off from a small band of Pawnees 3-4 days ago. Matt just says, "That's my boy," and takes him.
Huh. What do you think, Tater?
Well, he looks Indian to me. Of course, Robbie was only 2 when the Indians took him. That was when they killed Mrs. Beecher, too. And that nearly finished Matt off when they killed his wife.
Tater, is that you?
Yep. Mr. Paladin, this here's my wife, Maudie.
Maudie?
Mr. Paladin?
How's the boy today, Maudie?
Same as yesterday and the day before.
Is he sick?
Well, not hardly. It's just we got to keep an eye on him every minute or he'll squirt away. Boy! Hey, boy! There he is, Mr. Paladin. About as wild as any animal that I've ever seen.
Poor little thing.
Well, what do you think?
Well, about 8 years old, I should think.
Be about right.
He could be white. If some of that grime were scraped off him, it's hard to say.
Hard to scrape it off, too.
Well, what's he say?
I haven't talked to him yet, Mr. Beecher.
Well, talk to him. I'm paying you.
Kono la teshi. Shishoni kiburi kiman.
Shiwa. Kalate Shishona Kyo. Tegate.
His name is Chiwa. His father is Kalate, chief of the Pawnees.
You listen to me, boy. I'm your daddy. I'd sell my own soul. I'd give it away before I'd lose you again.
He don't understand you, Mr. Beecher.
Well, he's got to feel something this strong, lingo or no lingo. Now, boy, you listen to me.
Tika.
What's the matter with him?
He's afraid of you.
Miss Beecher! Mr. Beecher!
What do you want?
It's Indians, Mr. Beecher.
Indians.
Pawnees.
Well, what about them?
Well, they're setting up camp.
Where?
They're over on the East Range.
So they finally come for the boy. All right, Tater.
Yes, sir.
Turn the men out. Make sure they all have rifles.
Yes, sir.
Now, wait a minute.
What?
Before you start shooting, why don't you find out for sure if this really is your boy?
I told you before, I know he's my boy.
You want to believe that, but you aren't sure.
All right, Paladin, say it out. What are you asking for?
Time to talk with those Pawnees.
Well, you go talk then, but I'll tell you one thing for sure. No matter what lies they give you, that boy's mine. And if they try to come after him, there'll be the bloodiest massacre you ever seen.
Of all leading filtered cigarettes, Kent Filter's best. Kent Filter's best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent. Kent Filter's best. Of all of the brands of cigarettes, Kent tastes the best. Kent tastes the best. A richer taste than all the rest. Kent Filter's best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent. Of all leading filter cigarettes, Kent Filter's best.
I rode out to the Pawnee camp knowing I had little time and less chance to stop a needless killing. There were squaws, braves, sitting, wandering. There were a hungry people and a lost people. At a tattered teepee, I found Kalete, chief of the Pawnees.
Kalate was once man who greeted white man like brother. Now he wanders, hungry, forgotten like the gray wolf.
I'm sorry. I wondered why Kalate was on this trail.
White man steal children.
Kalate will agree. A man may claim his own son.
She was my son.
Is he white?
She was my son.
I ask again, is he white?
Skin is leather bag God made to hold the soul. Color of bag no matter. He was traded from the Sioux. Our blood has mixed.
But his is white.
He is my son. I take him back.
Kalate, if you take the boy, there'll be killing. This white man has many rifles.
Can rifles kill what has been killed already? Look at my camp. When there is no game, my people starve. We are driven from land, and winter is here. But we move no more. We stay here. Soon we take my son.
Hello, Marty.
Hello, Mr. Paladin.
Wow, what's going on inside there?
Oh, everyone's shining up clean. We're going to celebrate Christmas, Mr. Beecher, too.
Mr. Beecher.
Well, I know you won't believe it, but Tater did the trick. Says to Mr. Beecher, maybe the boy will remember Christmas. Now, ain't that a good one? Indian boy bringing us Christmas. First time since Mr. Beecher lost his wife. Oh, got to find some more mesquite for decorating. We're going to have singing and eating and everything.
Sounds fine, Marty.
Well, Paladin, you see the chief?
I talked to him.
What'd he say?
He's your son.
I told you he was. You tell them Indians to get their squaws and their tents off my property?
No.
Why not? You want them all killed?
I want you to understand that Chief Kalate feels that the boy is his son, too, and he feels it very strongly. If you talk to him, I'd be glad to act as interpreter.
The only way I'll talk to him and his flea-bitten braves is with rifle fire.
Listen, Beecher. Chief Kalate is the only father the boy has ever known. You kill him. How are you going to explain that to the boy?
You speak Pawnee. You can explain it.
You're wrong, Mr. Beecher.
Yeah?
I couldn't explain that in any language.
Tater, I said rations, not all these fancy victuals.
Well, it's Christmas, Mr. Beecher.
Now, look. Listen to me, all of you. Listen. If one calf wanders off tonight, we work double tomorrow, even if it is Christmas Day.
All right, boys. The cider's sitting over there just a-waiting. You can't get no stouter, so get to it.
Taylor!
Morty, what is it?
The boy's gone.
Gone?
They come and took him.
Was it the Pawnees took him?
Yes, sir.
You knew about this, Paladin.
I thought they'd try, but not so soon.
Get your rifles.
Now, just wait a minute. You're always reaching for a rifle. There's no need for rifles. No hurry. The Pawnees aren't going anywhere. They're tired of running.
Preaching from a gunslinger. You just been aching to speak a piece. Well, speak it, Paladin. Talk don't mean nothing. Say anything you want. I'll still have the last say.
Well, I'm far from being a preacher. But I do know something about killing. Now, these Indians, rightly or wrongly, believe the boy is theirs. And few people love children like the Pawnees. Now, the Chief Kalati might have given up the boy. He knows a wealthy rancher could give the boy more than a starving Indian could, and they're starving. Properly treated, he still might give up the boy. On the other hand, these Pawnees can't run anymore. They're tired. But they would rather die here tonight than give up the child to force. It won't be hard to massacre them. They have no guns. All you have to do is stay out of arrow range. And those you only wound, well, someone will have to press a muzzle against their heads and pull a trigger. Now, this is no Christmas message. I haven't even suggested that to a starving man, food may carry more weight than rifles. As Mr. Beecher can tell you, sentiments like peace, like goodwill, and love, and brotherhood, they're just words. Unless you already know what they mean. And if you don't, even if this were a chapel and I were a preacher, such words would do no good.
Well, I ain't got much to say. We're going out to kill some Injuns. One Injun in particular. Anybody that wants can stay here and draw his time, if you think you can find another job. And those who ain't going with me, speak up. Right now. Well, that's the story since the beginning, Mr. Paladin. The belly always wins out.
My dear Watson, with all due respect to Sherlock Holmes, let us establish one fact clearly. There is nothing elementary about the shrewd deductions Eric Severide makes as he analyzes world affairs on CBS Radio. As chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, Mr. Severide has open to him almost every possible source of information. Experience has sharpened his perspective and given him an extraordinary working knowledge of the forces that make history. It's taught him to view each new development in terms of cause and effect. Each Monday through Friday night, as you'll join Eric Severide on most of these same stations, you'll find his news analysis remarkably free of snap judgments and predetermined conclusions. You'll discover, too, that his carefully considered appraisals of the news not only contain real clues as to what is going on in the world, but also they make the news as exciting as any Arthur Conan Doyle story.
As Beecher's men spilled out of the doorway of the main house to change clothes and get their rifles, I slipped out the back way and, taking the first horse I saw, headed for the Indian camp. Somehow I had to keep Matt Beecher from starting a bloodbath he might not be able to stop. Even as Kalati and I talked, I knew there were horses moving in the darkness beyond the Indians' fires. Beecher's horses.
You are a wise man, my son, but we stay.
A man without a gun still might run?
No place to run. I have forgotten how to kill, but not how to die.
But what good does it do the boy?
Could he take another father after this?
We got the camp surrounded. You want to explain that to the chief, Paladin?
He knows it.
You going to stand with them instead of with your own people? I asked you a question.
I heard you.
Tater? Hold up, Tater!
Hold your
fire, boys. That's Morty.
Wait a minute. What are they doing here?
Mr. Paladin!
Over here, Morty.
We got food and things for them Indians. There's 15 or 20 of us. Is it all right to come in there?
It's the most all right thing in the world, Morty. Come on.
All right, ladies. Get your baskets and get it.
What is?
Call your squaws, Chief. Call your children. Call the boy. They're bringing food and gifts for your people.
Shiva, Holonge, Honemo.
Well, they don't look very friendly, Mr. Paladin.
I guess you don't look very friendly to them.
What do we say?
Oh. I'd suggest you try Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas?
Christmas.
Morty, this is Kalate. He's the chief of the Pawnees.
How do you do?
Oh.
I only got one pair of hands. Here, you take this basket.
Hold on there, Morty. I'm with you.
Hello, Tater.
Hello, Mr. Paladin.
Come in, too, Mr. Paladin.
Well, Pete.
Now, what Beecher's doing is wrong, and I don't care if I do get fired.
Well, look, Mr. Paladin, all the men are coming in.
Why, Morty, you ain't rightly dressed for riding.
Well, ladies, it was the time to change, but you sure don't have to look.
Well, Chief, there'll be no bloodletting tonight.
Christmas?
That's right. They call it Christmas. It's a time of the year when people pretend there is no evil in the world.
I like.
Everybody likes. What about the boy, Chief? His name is Robbie Beecher. His skin is white. Chief?
My boy.
His boy, Chief. You can return the seed to the plant that bore it. He can't take it, nor can I, nor can anyone.
I talk to boy.
I'll talk to his father.
Hold it, Paladin. Right there.
He'll give you the boy, Beecher.
What?
You can take him home tonight. The chief is talking to him now, telling him that you're his father.
I'll kill you, Paladin, if this is some kind of way of getting back at me. When do I get my boy?
I haven't been paid yet. $1,000 cash.
Well, I haven't got it with me.
Well, when can you have it?
Tomorrow?
Then give it to the chief so he can buy some land for himself and his people.
I'll do better than that. I'll give him some land. I feel like I should give something.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
As a matter of fact, it is.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Beecher.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, we saw Paladin.
Good afternoon, hey boy.
When you come back?
Last night, late. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, no. Wait, not her. You met her once, remember?
I remember. She's always dropping her glove.
Oh, too bad. I trouble. Oh.
I beg your pardon. You dropped your glove.
Oh, sir, I did.
May I pick it up?
You may.
Thank you. Allow me to introduce myself.
Well, please do.
My name is Paladin.
My name is Eugenie Meyer, Mr. Paladin.
Oh. There's a princess named Eugenie.
I'd rather hear about that glove that holds a lady's hand.
Holds a world of prettiness?
Yes. I like that beginning better. Is there more?
Oh, there's a great deal more, I assure you. But one question, why the change of heart?
Well, it's more a change of mind. The change of heart can come later.
But why? You were very confident in your rejection the last time we met.
Well, you were very confident of yourself, Mr. Paladin. Christmas seems to have humbled you. And me.
Then we're both very fortunate. Now we can meet.
Yes.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell and stars John Daner as Paladin with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Gene Roddenberry and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Vic Perrin, Jess Kirkpatrick, Roy Woods, Richard Beals, Ann Morrison, and Virginia Christine. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
My gun was handcrafted to my specifications. I rarely draw it, unless I mean to use it.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Daner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel. Headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Paladin.
Good evening, George. My key, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Paladin.
Good evening, Mr. Paladin.
Good evening, my dear. How nice to see you.
Is it?
Of course.
Haven't you been avoiding me lately?
No, not at all. I've been out of town.
Mr. Paladin! Mr. Paladin!
Over here, hey, boy. You'll pardon me, my dear, but wait for me in the lounge.
Well, if you don't take too long.
I won't. Hello, hey, boy.
Oh, yes, oh, Mr. Paladin. I look for you. I get you papers from all places in West, like always.
Fine. Put them in my room. I'll be up later. Right now, there's a young
I
lady.
think something you want to see in this journal from New Mexico. I mark. Here. You read.
Huh.
Yeah, it looked like they need Mr. Paladin and his gun, eh?
Yes, maybe so, hey, boy. Get me pen and paper.
Oh, yes, sir. Right away. Good, good, good. You send cards, say, have gun, will travel.
Dandruff bothers most men, most women, too. So listen. Today you can get rid of embarrassing dandruff in just 3 minutes. Yes, with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. That's not all. Using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes, with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And never forget, gentle Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
I'll get it, Mr. Reed.
Oh, never mind. I can still walk to my own door. Well?
My name is Paladin. I got your wire.
Wire? What wire?
Well, your name is Jesse Reed.
And what about her?
You and 20 of your men tried to take the town of Perdido below the border in Mexico. And only 5 of you came back, not in very good shape. I see that you're still hobbling on one leg.
Yeah, well, come on in.
Thank you.
Now, how do you know so much?
I saw it in the San Francisco papers. And I sent you a card. Like this one.
Huh? Have gun will travel. Wire Paladin, San Francisco. But I sent no wire.
I have it right here.
Gotch?
Yes, sir, Mr. Reed.
Did you send this man a wire?
I figured maybe Mr. Paladin could help us, Mr. Reed. At least till he was able to sit a horse again.
Oh. You're a fast gun, huh?
Fast enough.
What do you figure you can do for me?
Dave Enderby's wanted for murder, and he's holed up in an outlawed town in Mexico. And more important, he took your daughter with him, and when he went after her, he ambushed your men and shot you. I guess you'd like to see him again.
But if I couldn't bring him back with 20 men, how do you think you'll do it all alone?
There are all kinds of tactics, Mr. Reed.
Tactics? You one of them ex-army officers?
Among other things.
I know your breed. Got to have action and money.
Which brings us to my fee.
I didn't ask you here. I ain't paying nothing.
For Dave Enderby delivered to you, breathing?
How much?
$1,000.
That gun comes high.
It's a good gun. Crafted to my own specifications.
Let me see it. Now, what do you think of that? I ask a man for his gun, and he gives it to me. Why, you overdressed tin soldier, you'd have about as much of a chance with Dave Enderby as a ribbon clerk.
I'll have my gun back, Mr. Reed, or I'll put a hole between your eyes. This Derringer may not look as impressive, but it's just as effective at short range. Thank you. Now, what about Dave Enderby?
A Derringer in your waistcoat. You're a cool one. All right, then. You bring me Enderby alive, and you'll get your 1,000. But nothing on account, only my word.
I don't ask anything more.
Enderby shot his first man when he was 15, in the back. That's where he tried to shoot me, and that's where he'll shoot you if he gets the chance. It's the only way he knows to fight.
I'll remember. What do I do about your daughter?
She went with him of her own free will. Let her stay.
Mr. Reed.
I said let her stay. All I want is Enderby.
I'll get him.
You're a fool, Paladin. You might get in, but you won't get out. The whole Mexican government can't get an outlaw out of Perdido. I couldn't, and you won't.
We'll see. Good day, Mr. Reed.
Welcome to Perdido, senor.
Senor, quite a welcoming committee. Do they always ring bells?
To tell us a stranger is in the pass, it is guarded.
I saw them. They didn't look very friendly.
Not every stranger is a friend, senor.
My name is Paladin.
And mine is O'Brien. I am the alcalde here.
A red-headed Mexican with an Irish name?
In Perdido, what matters is not a man's nationality, but his disposition. If he is, shall we say, simpatico, then he is welcome.
For as long as he can pay.
It is a poor business, senor, that does not make a profit. You have friends here, Senor Paladin?
I'm looking for Senor Enderby. Can you tell me where to find him?
He is usually in the cantina.
Thank you.
Oh, Senor Paladin.
Yes?
I must tell you about our bed. If it rings when one leaves Perdido, that one is always met in the pass. Stay with us, senor, and be comfortable. And when you leave, I hope the bell does not ring for you.
Good day, Senor O'Brien. Hey, what?
Senor, don't shoot. The knife was not meant for you.
Oh.
That's a fast draw, mister, but you can holster your gun. We only thrown at that circle on the wall beside you. Like this. Well, amigo, I win again.
Your pleasure, senor.
Huh? Oh, tequila.
Si, senor.
You've been thrown at a man, amigo. You'd be dead now.
I do not miss when it is a man.
Double the bet, then?
We'll see, but this time I use your knife.
Hand it over, amigo.
I permit you to use mine.
Hey, senores. There is one law in Perido. We do not fight each other.
Well, now, I thank you for reminding me. I ain't going to be the one to spoil the fun. Go ahead, amigo. Throw.
Vincent, it was a good...
Look out!
You tried to cut me in the back.
Just letting you know, I don't mind giving something away, but nobody takes nothing from me. Nothing. Here's your knife, amigo.
Pig.
You'll know better next time.
Enderby.
How'd you know my name?
I had a good description of you, of how you fight. I've come looking for you.
For me?
Mm-hmm. Seems I have to take you back across the border.
That's so? Julio.
That is still against your neck, senor. So don't try anything or you will not leave, eh?
Now, I'll take that gun of yours, mister. You won't be needing it anyway.
No, because I can't shoot you. I don't get paid unless I bring you back breathing.
Who to?
Jesse Reed.
That old vinegaroon's still alive and kicking?
Very much so. And he wants you alive.
What's your name, mister?
Paladin.
You want me to take care of him, Senor Enderby?
Nah, let him go, Julio. He ain't got a chance.
Bueno, senor.
Thank you. You know, I'd like to meet the young lady who caused all this.
Nancy? Sure, why not? Nancy get a real boot out of you. Come on, Mr. Paladin.
Like a season ticket to the ballpark, CBS News admits you to every major event going on. Please note, too, that where CBS News is concerned, the world is the stadium, and the season of excitement knows no end. Regular features like our World News Roundup, broadcast 7 mornings a week on CBS Radio, and its evening counterpart, The World Tonight, heard nightly over most of these same stations, make you spectator to the most spectacular events of our time. They take you right to where the news is happening, let you learn the details from experts who've watched the news develop. Every morning on CBS Radio, join CBS News correspondents on the World News Roundup for reports from the major news centers of the world. Every evening, let The World Tonight take you to the scene of the news for on-the-spot reports and lively interviews with people in the news. No matter what is happening, no matter where it's happening, you'll be well informed if you follow the story on CBS Radio every time.
Excellent coffee, Mrs. Enderby. Served on excellent china in a delightful patio. You must be very happy here.
Tell him, honey.
I am.
I see.
My father wasn't honest with you, Mr. Paladin. All he wanted was to set you against Dave. Did he tell you the way everybody back home talked about Dave?
And all those scrapes he got into? He was forced?
You're raking me with them spurs again.
If you think you're going to turn me against Dave...
He came for me, honey. Your daddy don't even want to see you again.
That's true. He doesn't care if he ever sees me again.
How do you know?
She knows her, old man. Got a hide thick as alligator.
Dave!
You managed to put some lead into that tough hide.
He what?
Now, don't you believe that, honey. I told the boys to let your daddy be. I saw him right away without a scratch.
And your father saw Dave bushwhack him.
Now, honey, don't that prove he'll say anything to split us?
You've got quite a problem, Nancy. Who's the liar? Your husband or your father?
Dave's wild, but he's no murderer.
If I'd done half the things folks say, I'd been dancing at the end of a rope long ago.
There's still time.
Dave, he's trying to make you fight. Don't let him.
He has to fight, or come along with me. He's got my gun, but still he won't fight. He's yellow.
It's not true.
If you had a belly for fighting, you'd have finished off that fellow in the cantina. You'd have finished me. But you couldn't, because we were face to face with you.
Shut up.
You're a rotten little coward. You can only bushwhack men. Stab or shoot him in the back.
Why, you...
He's only knocked out. He'll wake up soon enough.
I wish he'd killed you.
But he didn't. Now?
What are you doing?
Just getting my gun back. And
No, stop.
I'll have to finish him.
No, please.
I haven't a chance of getting out of Perdido alive otherwise.
Don't kill him, don't. I'll do anything you say, please.
Help me get out of Perdido. Come with me through the pass.
All right.
No trouble, no tricks. I have your word.
Yes, you have my word.
All right, let's go.
I'll turn back here. You're almost out of the pass.
A little farther. I can still see the guards.
You're perfectly safe now. I got you out of Perdido.
Nancy, why don't you come back with me?
You're crazy.
You're wrong about your father. He wants you back. You've hurt him, but he loves you. Why not come back with me?
No.
You'd rather stay in Perdido with Enderby?
Yes.
Then I'll have to take you.
Stop it. Let go of the rein.
Don't worry. If he really loves you, he'll come after you. Sounds like he's worked himself free.
And you'll soon be sorry you ever saw Perdido.
You'll have to catch us first. Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
Are we going to ride all night?
The idea is to lose Dave, isn't it? We go on.
Please, can we slow down?
After we cross the Rio Grande.
Oh, please. Can't we stop and rest?
I guess we can. He'll be catching up with us about now. Between the two of us, we've left a clear enough trail.
Between the two of us?
You think I didn't notice you dropping things along the way? If the trail was any longer, you'd have had a problem in modesty. Come on. We'll make camp here and have breakfast.
You wanted him to follow us.
Of course. I don't get paid without him.
Time was when the sedan chair was considered the height of luxury. When you think of all the places you go and all the things you now do by radio, a sedan chair doesn't seem like much of a luxury at all. Tuned to a radio network like the CBS radio network, you can, in a matter of moments, travel to foreign capitals to learn what's happening to individuals or whole nations at a time. Because a network like CBS radio is made up of many stations, stations like the one you're listening to now, the smartest supper clubs from New York to San Francisco invite you to dance to the music of their big-name bands night after night. Because CBS Radio's vast network facilities extend in every direction, you can laugh with the funniest comedians in Hollywood or on Broadway. Then move on to a serious discussion of space-age problems, and all in the course of an evening. By all means, use that sedan chair if you have one. But if you want to go places fast, take CBS Radio along.
Have some more bacon? No?
You simply used me to bring him out of Perdido.
No. Let's say I accomplished two purposes with one action. To take you back to your father where you belong, and to get Enderby to the gallows where he belongs.
It was more of your lies about my father still wanting me, about Dave shooting him.
Dave tried to shoot him in the back, the way he'll try to shoot me, now that he's here.
What do you mean?
He's up there in the rocks behind me, isn't he?
How did you know?
I've been watching your eyes, depending on them to warn me. Now, if you...
No, Dave!
See how he works? If there's a way of crawling around to a man's back, he finds it.
You're wrong. Besides, I don't care how he does it, just so he kills you.
But that last shot might have killed you.
You're crazy. He's my husband. He came after me.
Not because he loves you, but because nobody takes anything away from him.
He doesn't know. He thinks... Dave! Dave, I didn't leave you. He forced me. Come and get him.
You get down. You wasted your breath. He won't come. He won't face a fair fight even for you.
You're wrong.
I'll prove it. All right. Enderby. Here I come. All right, Enderby. You've got a good shot at me now. And so have I at you. You want to finish it? You're welcome to try.
No. No, I give up.
Dave, are you all right?
Listen, Paladin, I'll make a deal with you. It's really her the old man wants, not me. You take her and let me go.
Dave!
What about it, Paladin?
No deal. I'll take you both.
Dodge! Dodge!
Yes, sir, Mr. Reed.
Someone just rode into the yard. You better get on outside there and...
Mr. Paladin.
And Enderby.
Delivered. Breathing.
No, not for long.
Wait, you can't shoot me. I got a right to a hearing.
Mr. Reed.
Just a minute, Mr. Reed. $1,000 first. I like things orderly. A bank draft will do.
Yeah. Well, I have it all written out. There's your blood money, bounty hunter. Now get out.
Thank you for sticking to the letter of our agreement. I'll do the same.
You did. I paid for it. Hey, give me my gun.
I didn't agree to become an accessory to murder.
You're in cahoots, the two of you. Suckered me for $1,000, gonna ride off laughing.
Not Dave. The law will take care of him.
And you figure to pick up the reward, too.
No. That belongs to Nancy.
Nancy?
Outside. But there's no use bringing her in. You said you never wanted to see her again.
She had the nerve to come back here, did she? I'll give her what for. Nancy! You come here! All right. Look up at me. Come on.
Dad, you're late.
Oh, I'm all right.
Are you sure? How do you feel?
Well, how do you think I feel? With a daughter ain't got no more sense than to stand out here in the sun when she's got a house to go into. Now, go on. You get to your room. You get washed up. You look like you've been in a stampede. Now, go on. Get Nancy, girl.
All right, Dad.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, so happy to see you back in San Francisco. All okay.
Hello, hey boy.
Oh, I brought lots of papers to your room, Mr. Paladin, and a pretty lady leave letter.
Oh? Well, it's nice to be home.
No one we know of approves of wasting money. In spite of that, however, we Americans are often guilty of wasting our money by the uses we make of our government facilities. Take the operation of the post office, for example. Mostly out of habit, many offices and individuals post outgoing mail at the end of the day. In so doing, they leave post office employees with too little work to do at other times of the day. In addition, we forget to include zone numbers as part of the address. In both ways, we're slowing down the entire system for delivering mail and adding to the cost of our postal operation. The problem is simple enough to solve. Start solving it tomorrow. If you will arrange to post letters and packages earlier in the day and include zone numbers on the return address as well as the outgoing address, you'll help our post office operate more efficiently for you and at less cost, too. Remember, for faster, more economical service, mail early in the day and include zone numbers. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell, and stars John Daner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Sam Rolfe and adapted for radio by John Dunkel. Featured in the cast were Paul Dubov, Gene Bates, Joseph Kearns, William Allen, Don Diamond, Howard Culver, and Lillian Byatt. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.